in the elements of East Rutherford, New Jersey. Sports Talk 790. Brought to you by Moore's Marinades and Sauces and the Low Tea Center.
Compared to New York, it's warmer.
Yeah, compared to New York.
You're not worried about that. You can't worry about it.
That's not up to me. It's not a decision I'm making.
You're going to keep playing regardless, whether you're in Houston or whether you still believe you have good football left. You're going to keep on doing what you do.
Yeah, I think I could fool him for a few more years. I think I can.
It's legit.
I gotta ask you now, because you obviously can't say anything like this in the middle of a season, but you just mentioned some stuff about refreshing the building and things like that. And Richard Sherman had an interesting quote after the pick six against you guys that they had your tendencies. They knew what was coming. Quinn, the defense coordinator, already was calling for, okay, here's what's probably going to come from a tendency standpoint. As a guy who studies the game and a guy who's has a good understanding of I would imagine, defensive tendencies because you've been around, did you feel like there had gotten to be a point with the offense where when you're out there either watching film or playing where you felt like guys were running your routes or you felt like defenses had a beat on your offense?
Yeah, I think there got to be a little bit of predictability in terms of what we were doing. Obviously, we wanted to get Arian the ball and Dre the ball and get myself the ball, and I think those are the options that we went with most of the time. I think most teams that keep defenses off balance spread the ball around to every single person out there. It doesn't matter who you are. We're looking everywhere, and whoever's open, we're going to get that person the ball. So, I don't know, defense just caught up to what we were doing and what it was.
Because they didn't catch up to it for the first 5 years. That's what seems strange to me.
Yeah. And I wish I could. I think if we knew what the deal was, we would have changed some things.
Right.
Because I think we thought going in each week we had a good game plan and it was going to work for us, and we were going to run the ball, we were going to throw off of it, and we got away from what we kind of built ourselves on, and I think we got away from that a little bit.
When you get behind, you can't run it the way you need to anyway, which really helps your offense. Owen Daniels, by the way, is our guest here live on Radio Row. He's dressed up. He's pretty. He looks
dapper.
Like a proper gentleman right now, doesn't he?
He's always a proper gentleman, and you went to hang out with Al Roker. Now, a lot of people, I think people know by now that you've been in Houston a while, that you have a background in meteorology. How was it with Al? Did he let you do it, the weather?
It was really cool, man. That was awesome. So, it was pretty cool experience to get to go on there and do the Super Bowl forecast with him and them having me in there. And
you've done local a lot, but doing national is way different.
Yeah, it's different. So we were on the Weather Channel. I don't think we were on Today's show, but we were on the Weather Channel, and I got some more stuff going on with them. I actually did some stuff with them after Al, and I got some stuff going on tonight with the Weather Channel.
You're going to do something with that later in your when you're
done with
football?
I got my degree in atmospheric and oceanic science from Wisconsin. So
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? I got one of those.
So when you're done with radio, then we can maybe
go into
do something together.
Oceanography or whatever.
Yeah. So I would love to use that when I'm done. I've always been infatuated with the weather.
That's great.
And I would like to do something that's interesting to me. I'll have some time left.
So you came in late. This is your first Super Bowl. You've never been, and you're not staying for the actual Super Bowl. But it was way colder here. We've talked about this on the air. We had some days where we were walking either home from places or going, towards getting a cab, taking a subway.
Right.
Where it was in the teens, and we don't deal with that in Houston very often.
Yeah.
And it's bearable as long as it's not windy. But I was thinking to myself, it really put a new spin on when San Francisco went in and won at Green Bay, and Colin Kaepernick has no sleeves on. I'm saying, it's easy to sit at home and just say, I could probably pull that off. And then when you're actually in that kind of weather, you realize, how is that even possible? Now, you went to Wisconsin, but I don't know that it ever got that cold in November. But were you at the Chicago game, I guess, that was crazy cold, right?
Yeah, but you guys are forgetting 2008 when we went up and played Green Bay in December, and it was 3 below a kickoff.
Oh, that's right.
They won on a field goal.
And we went up and won. So that's the coldest game I played in.
What was that like for you when you weren't actually playing, when you had to be on the sidelines?
You had the long coat, right?
The sideline part was fine because we had the heated benches and parkas. The standing in the huddle part was cold, and running from the sideline into the huddle and back and forth, that was pretty cold. We caught a break because there was no wind that day, so it was tolerable in a sense. It wasn't that there was a big wind chill factor or anything like that.
It makes all the difference.
And you can't wear sleeves. What's the point?
What do you mean? What's the point?
What's the point
in
type
not
of a little thin layer that makes it slippery to
Not if you get
handle
it
the
from
ball.
North Face. Not if you get something from North Face.
And then you can't run.
Hankering for an endorsement deal.
It's all about keeping your hands and feet warm in that weather.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I was wondering the feet, man. That's the one that's probably going to freeze you out.
You got to move your fingers. That's apparently
it's
important in
hurt
football.
Either way, though, yeah.
I got to ask you this because we've asked a lot of the national types here, but as a guy who might be here and could be catching passes from him, you know who I'm going to ask you about, right? Johnny Football?
Well,
I have to.
You're still watching college football, right?
Yeah, of course.
What do you think? Can he play at the next level? And if he were to come to the Texans, I mean, would you be excited about it? What are your thoughts on Johnny?
I think he can play at the next level. I think his game is very risky at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
What made him good in college, could pay off in the NFL, or it could be a quick end to a career because guys are faster, they hit harder, and you're not going to get away with as much as you got away with in college. So, I bet he's a smart kid. I bet he realizes that. If he happened to come to Houston, obviously we'd welcome him with open arms and be behind him all the way. But I think it's going to be tough for him to play that type of game in the league.
He's got to keep in the pocket a little bit more.
I think so, right. And I've seen him throw the ball. I think he improved from the previous year to this past season in terms of throwing it, and I'm sure he's going to get better doing that. So, I bet he's a great competitor too. So
last one, because we know you got bigger fish to fry than Houston. So the actual game itself, Seattle, Denver.
Yeah.
AFC, NFC. Who are you? I said you got bigger fish to fry than Houston radio in this particular table.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. So who you got, Seattle or Denver? I think Seattle's going to be too fast for Denver. I think that speed's going to really surprise. You guys, you played both teams.
Yeah, I got Denver. They got too many weapons, I think. Too many weapons. I think Seattle can shut down a few people, but they got more than a few that can make plays and have been doing it all year. I think they got 5 guys with double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah.
So there's no one that's new to that part of the game and making plays.
And your old buddy Joel Dreesen told you to say that, didn't he?
And that's a big reason why I'm picking Denver.
That's right. Joel hunts, and he's proficient, so be careful.
Yeah,
he
is.
OD, get on with what you're doing. Welcome into New York City. We're headed on the way out today, so you enjoy yourself.
All right, guys.